traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. That's the signpost up ahead. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
Now I shall delve into some fan mail from one of my other online endeavors of answering questions of the not-so-normal experiences in life. I call this Faustian Fan Mail. Are there good ghosts? Yes, there are good ghosts and bad ghosts. They have their own classification when it comes to bad ghosts. They are phantoms, specters, poltergeists, and wraiths, and it is the method they use to interact and communicate that defines their class. Phantoms are spirits who are driven by dark powers and forces whose will have been compromised to the will of the evil power that drives them. Specters are spirits of those who learned of the dark arts of necromancy and use that knowledge to prolong their crossing over to avoid judgment for their life's deeds. They often maintain their spiritual presence by feeding off the life force of children while they sleep and resemble Voldemort from the first Harry Potter movie when they met him feeding on a unicorn in the forest. Poltergeists often use physical objects to latch onto to maintain their presence in the living world and usually use that object to take possession of whoever touches it. The poltergeist must have had physical contact with the object in life to use it as a means to maintain its presence. Wraiths are the spirits of the martyrs and innocents who died unjustly at the hands of evil people. They encounter benevolent deities that possess the power to send them back into the living world with the power to take revenge for the wrongful events of their deaths. These spirits usually appear symbolic in description respectively to their deaths, such as a man who was killed by a drunk driver would appear as he did at the moment of his death, with neck broken or lacerations all over his face with the pale blue skin color or something similar to that, which symbolizes his wrongful death. Also, these spirits usually only appear to those responsible for their deaths, and they do not always come to cause death to avenge their deaths. Sometimes they come to haunt, make them seem delusional or crazy, bring bad omens upon their life, and other such methods. Some of the more wiser and peaceful people come to become mentors and even guardian angels, believing that a path of enlightenment to a higher purpose or belief is a better means of retribution than lashing out in anger. Are there any evil dragons in Chinese culture? Yes, there was the green dragon Fang Fang, who was a mystical green dragon who would often take the form of a man and mingle with them, causing mischief. Once the dragon was offended, however, he would take to the skies and rain terror down upon the village of whoever offended him until he was satisfied with his vengeance. Then he would return to slumber within his mansion. There was also the seven-headed red dragon of destruction. I can't remember his name, but it started with an M. The infamous Masum blade was crafted to defeat this dragon that they said could control the winds and could not be dulled. It is a sort of Chinese legend. Also, there are the 4 dragon lords that are a part of the 9 emperor gods. The 4 dragon lords were said to be ferocious dragons, each with their own respective temple in each corner of the earth: east, west, south, north. The dragon lord of the north was said to be the most terrible of them. Each dragon. What did you see when you saw an angel? Well, let's see. The first time I remember seeing an angel was when I caught one looming over my life and casting omens upon me for sins I was said to one day commit, as it was written in the book of life. It believed coming and standing against such an adversary of the Lord would bring him glory in heaven. For deeds I had not yet committed. Needless to say, I ripped the little zealot of a flying diaper nugget wings off and wore them like my name was Buffalo Bill. The next time I saw an angel was when I saw Jesus upon the crossroads, when he sent me back and told me I was not dead. Oh, I've always understood his reasons why, which was because I was too young to know the difference between good and evil and had not the chance to make my choice or accept salvation yet. He wished me to have that chance. Well, it came in job-like abundance. Thanks to him I knew grief, sorrow, loss, poverty, and yet was denied death 7 times now to experience such. Every time I get tossed back into the mortal realm, Heck, this last time Michael himself threw me out and told me to stay out. I've been in the presence of God, experienced almost the same thing that Enoch, Moses, Thoth and many others described, the being lifted above the earth, past the galaxy, the stars, and then looked back and saw all we could ever conceive possible was but a space upon his ankle. Then I was on the beach and every grain of sand was in itself its own universe. He walked from the sea and had 1 foot upon the land and 1 on the seas, and rainbows for feet and clouds as sandals. He shrunk to my size and we walked down the beach and spoke. He told me of the purpose of my design and my destiny. He showed me the beginning and the end of all that was. I've seen demons and saints and known things not even biblical scholars were sure of. The one thing I have not ever seen, though, is the one thing God had stated: the design of my destiny was my place as the devil. He revealed to me that it was my destiny to be the morning star, but at the same time he revealed to me the entire spectrum of my destiny and all I will endure because of it. At no time before or after this have I ever encountered any actual devil, or Lucifer, or evil spirit of darkness that claimed such title and not been proven to be false. Also, I should add that angel I first met shoved some holy doctrine down my throat at one point and said, as I started to taste the effects of the parchment, yes, it was sweet at first like kettle corn, but then became sour in my stomach. I'm not sure what that flying grape factory with wings shoved down my throat still to this day. But I have learned this much. There are texts that state that Adam and Eve described the same sensation when they ate of the fruit from the tree of life in the Garden of Eden. Also, I wish to add that ghosts in general seem scary or angry for a reason, and it's not out of choice. You see, once the body dies and the spirit is set loose, it has a very fragile state, and it is hard at times maintaining their composure to stay in that state. People and life within a house can cause major disruptions to that spirit's state, much like a house of cards is easily tumbled over. That is why ghosts usually appear angry or upset, because just the mere presence and day-to-day life not only makes it hard for them to rest peacefully, but also hard for them to hold themselves together. That is also why ghosts seek refuge in houses, to protect them from the horrifically dangerous natural elements of the outdoors. Hazardous to us but deadly to them. I mean, a single fart could scatter a ghost and take him days to compose himself again.
There is a 5th dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.